Oh, hey, are we recording now? That's just great. All right, anyway, it's my first YouTube video. Thanks for letting me know ahead of time, by the way. This is my first YouTube video. We're going to try to get some really good information out to you guys. This first series of videos that I'm hoping to do, if everything goes well, is going to be more geared towards brand new lifters, fairly new lifters, or people that are just thinking about doing their first powerlifting meet. There's a lot of information out there that tells you, as far as your attempts and all that stuff, and I will probably rehash some of that, maybe give a little new information. But this first series of videos is going to be about things that you really need to know about a powerlifting meet, especially your first one, but a lot of people don't think to tell you. So let's get into it. First one in the series is going to be using performance enhancing compounds at a drug-free powerlifting meet. And there's nothing wrong with it. And you can get away with it if you just follow these tips. So here we go. First performance enhancing compound I'd like to talk to you about that you can get away with at a powerlifting meet is manganese. It's a good old block of gym chalk. You don't have to have a whole big block like this, as you'll see here in a few minutes. I just grabbed this one out of the chalk bowl so that there was no doubt to everybody what this was. With the gym chalk, one of the most important things to remember about it, it belongs nowhere on your body but on your hands, across the back of your shoulders, not on your nose. But anyway, you can, let me back up a little bit. What this is for is to enhance grip. So it enhances your performance by enhancing grip, whether it's enhancing the friction that the bar has against your back while you're squatting, the friction your back has on the bench when you're benching, especially if you use a lot of leg drive when you bench, which you should. It'll help hold you in place on the bench. You'd be surprised how much grip this stuff will give you. So one little caveat to that, it doesn't take very much. I see a lot of people come out on the platform and they've got this stuff caked. It looks like it's a ½ inch thick on their hands. You don't need that much. You get that much on you, especially during deadlifts, it actually has the opposite effect and starts making things a little slippery. It starts caking up the knurling on the bar. And then you've got this big thick layer of this stuff on your hands. You might as well put oil on. All you really need to do is take it. What I usually do is I take and I put some on, it's hard to do with this big block, but I put some on one hand, get all my fingers, I get not real heavy, all my fingers in the webbing between my thumb and my first finger, and I always go clear down on my palm like that. Don't know why, because you don't use that part of your hand when you're lifting, but it's how I do it. You take your hands, rub them together like you're washing them, just like you're trying to scrub a bunch of nasty dirt, grime, grease off your hands. So you end up with a nice, fairly even thin layer on both hands. And just to give you an idea about how this little bit of chalk helps, I sweat like crazy when I'm training. I usually chalk up before my first working set on deadlifts or squats, sometimes bench, depending on what I'm feeling like that day. And this will last me this amount of chalk. I don't have to re-chalk for the rest of my working sets. So it doesn't take very much. A little bit really does go a long way with the chalk. And again, on your back, if you're a low bar squatter, obviously you're going to want it down right below the spine of your shoulder blades, all the way across your back. You can go up towards the nape of your neck if you feel like it. Really don't need to. Just a light coat, have somebody, if you can't reach back there, I can't. That's about as far as I can go. Have your handler, your coach, another lifter. Lifters at these meets are really, really great about helping each other out. One of the reasons I got into and stayed in powerlifting is because of the camaraderie that you have amongst all the lifters. Take the block, a little piece, whatever you got, thin layer across the back of your shoulders, and you're good to go. Now, you may need to freshen that up in between bench attempts, probably not on squats, but you may have to freshen it up a little bit, or have somebody, because you can rub it off on the bench. Other than that, that's really all there is to the chalk. Believe me, simple little item will enhance your performance on the platform at a powerlifting meet. Enhances your grip, stronger lift. Enhances the grip of your body on the bench. You don't have to worry about sliding. You don't slide, you're more stable, you stay tighter. Tighter you stay, better your bench is going to be. Again, on the deadlift, stronger grip, obviously. You're not going to slip off the bar. You can grip it harder. Doesn't feel like it's slipping. Your body's going to tighten up better. Come up with the bar and not have to worry as much about losing your grip on the bar. It's enough. That's all we got to say about the chalk right now. The next performance enhancing compound I'd like to talk to you about is baby powder. This is talcum powder. Now, most of what you get at the store now is going to be cornstarch. I don't like it as well, but I'm not 100% sure there's a huge difference between the cornstarch and regular talc. But I'm old, grew up with talc. That's what I know, that's what I like. You still can get this. You have to order it online. You can't buy it in the United States anymore because some female issues with cancers and all that. So kudos to the companies for taking it off the market. But if you really feel like you need talc, you can get it online. Anyway, with the talcum powder, you don't put it anywhere but from the top of your sock, or even down on your sock a little bit, up to your waist. Let me get up here. See if you can see. I usually go from about here. My socks stop here, like with regulation. So I usually go right about here, all the way up to my hips, right across here, all the way across both legs. Now this stuff, a little bit different than chalk. You can put a ton of it on, or have somebody put a ton of it on you. You do not want to get it on your hands, especially before the deadlifts. It's the only time you really need it's deadlifts. And I'm not going to put it on here. So I've got a client coming here in just a little bit, and it makes a big mess when you put it on. Don't want them off the floor before I have a client come. So I'm just going to demonstrate with the cap closed, but you'll get the idea. Now, if you've got somebody to put it on for you, well, let me get back to the mess part. Since it does make such a mess, most meet directors are going to have a designated area to put chalk on. They'll have a pad or a rubber mat or a carpet or something down. Please go there and put your powder on. If you're not sure where the area is at, ask the meet director, one of the referees. They'll tell you. Ask another lifter. They'll tell you where you need to go, because this stuff gets everywhere. And it's really disrespectful to make a huge mess at a venue that's been kind enough to allow us to come in and have a meet and lift and show off all our hard work, and then trash the place. If the venue doesn't have a designated spot for the powder, walk outside the doors, put it on, or throw a towel of your own down on the floor, because you don't want to get this stuff on the bottom of your shoes either. Kind of protect your shoes and protect the venue from being trashed. Anyway, when you put this on, if you've got a helper, just have them kind of shake it out on you, and then take their hands and rub it in, kind of rub it into you a little bit, so it's not just flaking off of you and falling all over the place. Just kind of like you'd rub it on after a shower. If you don't have help, remember I said that you don't want to get this on your hands, because then your hands are going to be slick and your chalk's not going to do any good. Then what you can do is you put it on yourself, and again, you don't want to get it on your shoes, so you may have to straighten your leg out, keep your foot up, put it down the front of you, crossed here, down the other leg, best you can. Take the bottom of your dispenser, your container, whatever you want to call it, and use it like this to just kind of rub it in everywhere. Get it rubbed in fairly good. What this is going to do for you is going to reduce, the exact opposite of the chalk, it's going to reduce friction. And again, you only want this on the deadlift. So as you're bringing the bar up your body, we all know when you deadlift, the closer the bar is to your body, the better your lift is going to be. You actually want to slide the bar up your body. Your socks are going to take care of the friction at the beginning of the lift, but then you've got that space from right below your knee to the start of your, about halfway up your thigh, or maybe a little higher up your thigh, depending on how your singlet fits, that there's nothing but bare skin, and even sweaty bare skin is sticky. Well, you put that powder on, dries up the sweat, and leaves a slick layer there. So as you're pulling the bar up your thighs, you can't edge up your thighs. You can't, sink into your thighs and ramp and all that stuff, but you can slide the bar up your thighs. As the bar is sliding up your thighs, that powder is leaving a slick barrier between your skin and the bar, so that the bar doesn't hang up and you don't have to deal with any friction to make the lift, make a hard lift harder. So that's all I've got for these two performance enhancing compounds today. Hopefully you got something out of it you didn't know, or if you're not a brand new lifter, you got something, reminded of something that you used to know and forgot. Because I have seen some experienced lifters take gym chalk, smear it on their thighs, and then go try to deadlift. Well, we already learned that gym chalk is to build up friction. So why would you put that on your thighs? Now that's for raw lifters. There are some equipped guys. I've been told, I'm not equipped, don't have a lot of experience with equipped lifting, and have only recently started talking to some equipped lifters about their craft. But I've been told that some do use chalk around their knee joints and just above and just below the knee joint to help their knee wraps stay in place a little better, because in my federation, you're not allowed to use the knee wraps. It's got the rubberized, like the silicone ribs on the inside of them that keeps them in place. And they say the chalk helps. But I can't speak on that because I'm not an equipped lifter 100%. But for raw lifters, how I've covered the use of the chalk and the powder for raw lifters is accurate and true. And like I was saying, hopefully you got something out of this video that maybe you didn't know, or was reminded of something that you knew before and had forgotten. Like I said, first video, hopefully I can make them a little more entertaining. Some of this, it's all exciting to me, but some of this information is a little dry. They'll get better as we go. If you have any subjects that you feel like you want covered, leave them down in the comments and we'll try to make videos about them. If you like the video, like the video. If you think you can learn something here with Art of Alliance Strength and Conditioning, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the videos. Not real sure right now how often they're going to come out. I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 a week, at least 1 a week, while I've got material. And then sometimes in the middle of the week, something will just grab me. I think, hey, I really need to get this out to people, and I'll put a video up. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of it. And if you know somebody that you think can get something out of these videos, especially this early series that's going to be more geared towards new lifters, share the videos. Thank you much, and until next time, we'll see you.